Alright, so we're just at a slightly different angle right now so that I can show you how to do the floats. What I'm going to try to show you is, as you kind of rotate the body back and forth, you'll notice the floats move all the way down, and then they'll all the way out, and then there's a point where I call it the flop, just right about there. And that's where you want to set the height for the floats. I've got my my gauge here set to 13 millimeters. So I need to adjust these a little bit. To adjust these, you're going to want a small flat-bladed screwdriver, and you're just going to bend these tabs either up or down, depending on where they need to be. Real gentle bend, doesn't take much to move them. I think I moved that guy too much, yeah. So let me shake these a couple more times and maybe you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So all the way out, and then they've got a couple of different spots that they'll fall. So that's all the way down, all the way out, and then that spot where they flop back is where you measure the height. So I guess I'll just go ahead and throw the bowls back on. I had washed these out earlier, and then we'll be done. So you want the drain screws pointed out when you put these back on. So there you can see it. So I got to put the gaskets back on here. So these are brand new gaskets that came in that carb kit. And just line them up, kind of press them in there. And then just set these down as carefully as you can. And they may tend to slide around a little bit. I like to get them on there and kind of slide it around a little bit. And then Mike's got the hex cap screws to put back on here. So the last thing I like to do before I tighten these down is just kind of visually inspect and make sure that the gasket is seated on all those. Looks pretty good to me, so I'm just going to go ahead and snug these down. The other thing you'll notice if you do the keister kits have a couple of extra O-rings in them. The reason for that is that Mikuni uses these carbs on more than one application, so some of the bikes are put together slightly differently than some of the others. So a couple of extra O-rings is to be expected with the keister kits. And that's it. So the carbs are now back together. Hopefully clean and run well, and Mike doesn't have any more problems with that bike. Don't forget to put your drain screws back in the bowls, and that's it, we're done.